anybody that knows you, you were destined to be behind the desk, and evidence of that is this photo we have here. How old were you there, David?
I was 13 years old.
Okay.
That's my dad. You didn't know my dad was Magnum PI.
I was gonna say Lee Majors. Your dad, you know, every
So
time I
handsome.
see your dad is such a babe.
And he's a good guy.
And every
Yeah.
time I see a photo of him, I'm always like, oh my God, he looks like Steve McQueen. Oh my God, he looks like Lee Majors. Oh my God, and he
Yeah,
always.
there's Tom Selleck.
This is why he's
Yes.
like. This is why he carries around his Kelly and Mark mug.
So you were into it at a very, very
Yeah.
young age. You were working at a TV
I
station?
mean, I was a total nerd. Yeah, in the backyard, everybody's playing, and I'd be out there too. But then I'd be like, I got to go inside. It's time for the news. They're like, what? So I'd go in and watch the news. I started visiting the station at 13 years old. Started interning at 14.
Wow.
And you know what? I just obviously my dad and my mom would take me in, so I'm grateful to them, and I'm grateful to everybody in that newsroom because
Yeah.
this is what we all have to remember. It was just a kid with a dream, and they let
Yeah.
me show up. And even when the news director, there was a new news director, I got in while there was no boss. That's the
Right.
only reason a kid that age could get in. They convinced the new boss to let me keep coming. And so, you know, I'm grateful to them. And I always try to remember that, you know, when people write to us or reach out to us that, you know.
What's the one thing you remember from that first broadcast when you took over as
After Diane?
After Diane.
I remember a couple of things. First of all, your heart beats louder than the words coming out of your mouth on that first night. You know what I mean? You don't even really hear what you're saying. And I wanted to find a way to thank Diane right off the top, but not dwell on it. And I know that's what she would want to. Like,
Yeah,
just
right.
get to the news. Do you know what I mean? You've earned this moment.
Yeah.
And you know, I'll never forget the first phone call when I got the job. You know, the phone rang, and I hope she doesn't mind me saying this, but Diane and the late wonderful Mike Nichols, they were both on the line, and she said, "This is Diane," and he goes, "And this is Mike." They said, you know, they said you've earned this, and that meant the world to me.
You
You
sure
definitely
have.
sure have.